Adam and the Magic Window. On a quiet evening, Adam was sitting in his small room, surrounded by notebooks and stories of strange creatures he loved to read before bed. The breeze outside was gently blowing, so Adam got up and opened the window to let in some fresh air. But he was surprised by something strange. Instead of seeing his usual street and buildings, he saw another world. A whole city with strange buildings, bright colors, and streets twisted like a big maze. Adam was startled and quickly closed the window. His heart was racing, and his mind couldn't process what he had just seen. The next day, when he opened the window, everything seemed normal. As if nothing had happened. A few days passed, and on another night, when he opened the window, he found himself in front of a new city. A beautiful city, but something was wrong. Adam stretched out his hand and stepped outside the window. Suddenly, he felt like he was flying, as if sliding gently, until he landed in a large garden in front of a huge palace. The people in the city were wearing strange clothes, and their eyes were filled with worry and confusion. Adam wandered around a bit, and when he asked people what was troubling them, he discovered the strange problem: the people there didn't know how to count. Everything was measured by many or few. This is too many. This is too little. No, this isn't less, it's less than little. And every time they argued, because no one knew how to properly calculate, no money, no food, no goods. Adam felt that this city needed help. And he might be the only one who could solve their problem. Adam thought for a moment and said to himself, if I teach everyone to count up to 10, their lives will change. So he started going around to the people in the market and showing them how to count on their fingers, 1, 2, 3. And so on. At first, they were very confused, and no one understood. They asked him, "Are you a magician? Where did you get this from?" But when they started to understand, things started to improve a bit. The merchants began selling their goods with clearer prices. People could take what was rightfully theirs with numbers, not by many or few. The problems in the market and street started to decrease. News about the strange boy teaching the art of counting spread quickly across the city. Until it reached the king of the city, named King Minos. When the king heard about this miracle, he couldn't believe it. So he sent his guards to bring Adam to the palace. Adam entered the grand palace, where the king was waiting, sitting on his throne, wearing a large crown studded with jewels. The king smiled and said to him, "I heard that you understand counting. Teach me, and teach my people. We have never understood this matter." Adam felt proud, but he also felt the huge responsibility placed on his shoulders. He agreed to help them. But another challenge lay ahead. Not everyone was eager to learn, and there were some who were afraid of change. Adam didn't give up. Instead, he started thinking of new ways to encourage people to learn counting. He decided to organize competitions and simple tests in the squares and markets. A contest to see who could count the most apples in the least time. A test to see who could correctly count the grains in front of them. Simple prizes for the winners, like a pie, a wooden toy, or even a beautiful flower. People loved these competitions. And soon, small families began teaching the older members of their families. Merchants began teaching the workers with them. And children started teaching their friends. Over time, more than half of the city's population learned to count. These people gained special status in the city. They were the ones controlling the markets, the trade caravans, and the major responsibilities. They became like pioneers, and everyone looked up to them with admiration. Meanwhile, the other half of the people, who had neglected learning, began to feel regret. They saw that opportunities were slipping away from them, and they had fallen too far behind. They said to themselves, "Why did we wait? We should have started earlier. So we wouldn't miss out." At that moment, the whole city began to change. The streets became more organized. Trade grew. People became happier, understanding everything around their lives. And Adam, who had come from another world through a magical window, became a hero in a city that was lost, and he managed to change it all through counting. He discovered that even simple knowledge, like counting, can change a whole world. Afterwards, Adam returned to the same garden at night and saw his window nestled among the trees. He made a high leap and found himself flying back to his room in his house, as if it had all been a dream on a moon night.